morning. This is your first medical mystery. Now, the point of the medical mystery is for you to think about what's happening. Think about maybe how the body might be responding to the situation, to generate questions for you to find answers to and for others to find answers to, and to work collaboratively with your classmates, even though this is an online course, to try and come up with a solution to the problem. As you listen to this case study, you're going to want to be filling out this medical mystery sheet, okay? Watch and listen to the medical mystery video. So I'm going to give you the scenario here in just a minute. Take notes on anything that you think is important or relevant. And when I'm finished, I want you to be thinking about what are your thoughts? What do you think might be happening? And what are some other pieces of information that you need to find out in order to decide what is happening in this situation? You are not going to be given all of the information originally, okay, or initially. So this is the time for you to generate these questions and think, well, I kind of wonder about this, I wonder about this, I wonder about this. I'm not concerned right now about your accuracy, all right? If you're asking the right questions, there's no wrong question here. This is a brainstorming session that you're going to share with your fellow students. So when you are finished, you will be posting these information on a discussion board, and you'll be responding to another student. So let's get started with the medical mystery scenario, and then I'll explain a little bit further when I'm done. Mark, a white 35-year-old male weighing approximately 154 pounds, started a 3-hour drive across the desert on US 95 from Yuma, Arizona to Blythe, California. He set out at 7 a.m. on what was expected to be a very hot July day. He anticipated that it would take him about 3 hours to reach Blythe, plenty of time to make his 11 a.m. appointment with Sarah, his fiancée. When he failed to appear by noon, Sarah became concerned and called the highway patrol. By 12:30 p.m., search and rescue officer Maria Arroyo, who was patrolling nearby, reported finding an abandoned car on the side of the road with a damaged radiator that matched Sarah's description of Mark's vehicle. Maria noticed shoe prints leading into the desert toward some low mountains in the distance. At that point, Maria called for helicopter assistance, consulted her GPS, and relayed the exact coordinates to the base. By 1 p.m., Henry Morningstar, paramedic and a member of the helicopter crew, reported a shirtless, hatless man wandering down a desert wash. The local radio station reported at about the same time that the air temperature was hovering at 105 degrees Fahrenheit in the shade, and there was darn little of that. The relative humidity was less than 5%. The helicopter crew members spotted a man staggering on the desert. They realized they had found Mark. His driver's license identified him as the missing man. Mark was still clearly conscious, but clearly delirious. Henry also noted that Mark was weak, nauseous, disorientated, and complained of a headache. His blood pressure was quite low, 70/50, and he was not sweating despite the oppressive heat. His body temperature was also high, 105 degrees. So, the questions are, what are your beginning thoughts on what is happening to Mark based on the limited information you have been presented with? What is your best guess as to what is happening to Mark? What questions do you have that need to be answered? What other pieces of information do you need to collect or know to be able to continue figuring out what is happening to Mark and his body? Write your thoughts down on the sheet, the medical mystery worksheet, and then I want you to post those on the discussion board. You then need to respond to the ideas and questions of at least 2 other students. This initial post and response is due by Wednesday to get full credit. I know everything else in this class is due at Sunday at 11:59 p.m., but the initial medical mystery posts are due by Wednesday to get full credit. After Wednesday, check back on the discussion board to get more information, to read what your fellow classmates have posted, their questions or their responses, and then complete the remaining medical worksheet. There will also be additional information presented within that discussion board. When you respond to another student, you can answer a question that they have. So maybe they presented a question like, well, what is a normal blood pressure? And you are free to look up the answer to that and post an answer to the question. You can post another question about something that someone posted. But the idea is that your response to another student is going to help us get more information in order to continue to figure out what is happening to Mark. Okay, so your responses shouldn't be great question. It can be great question, I did some research and here's the answer. If you have any questions on how this works, feel free to ask. Remember, after Wednesday, check back for more information from your classmates and more information that I will provide about Mark's situation in order for you to finish the medical worksheet.